I was thinking about what to talk about tonight, and I think you guys got the meat and bones of fitness and how to stay in shape, things like that. And once again, you follow calories in, calories out, you can't go wrong. But I thought about some frequently asked questions that I've heard over the years and decided to share those with you guys, and hopefully this can help you too in kind of a different format. So number one, can I exercise with asthma? Probably a common question that I've gotten. Yes. Exercise can reduce the number and the severity of asthma attacks that you have because it's going to boost your immune system. As we discussed plenty of times earlier, your body adapts very well. So if you're forcing your cardiopulmonary system to work, it's not going to constrict as much as it would when you have an asthma attack as it would previously. So that will definitely help. If you have asthma, use an inhaler. Make sure you ease into the exercise. Don't just go out and start running because you can get that constriction of your airways that's not healthy for asthmatics. So make sure you ease into the program so you don't get that acute constriction. Avoid cold, dry environments. Always want to try to exercise in warm, moist environments. And New Orleans is obviously great for that. And obviously keep close contact with your doctor. There's a lot of new medications that come out. One thing with asthma is that physicians want to make sure that they're, in a sense, titrating your medication based on the number of attacks that you have per week, per month, etc. So make sure you keep your regular checkups with your doctor if you have asthma. Can I get rid of cellulite? Okay, that's a very common question I have. Truth is, yes, no, kind of somewhere in the middle. Cellulite, unfortunately, for women affects about 90% of women, 10% of men. What is cellulite? It's the fat right underneath your skin. It's called subcutaneous fat. Okay, it's fat that we all have. It's fat that you need to live. And this fat that's not necessarily going to damage your vital organs, etc. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's more of a cosmetic issue that people are dealing with or more so concerned about. Now, because it is subcutaneous fat, you're putting out calories, you're losing weight, you're going to eventually lose some of that subcutaneous fat, hence some of that cellulite. Okay? So if you exercise and you're doing your cardio, you're doing your slow burn, fast pace, yes, you can reduce your cellulite. Not saying that you can completely cure it, but you can definitely help it. There's no such thing as spot reduction. I talked about this in the exercise portion. You can't do a bunch of these to get rid of this spot right there. Okay? It doesn't work. People ask me about that all the time. People who've been working out for years say, "Yeah, I know I can do a bunch of crunches to get rid of my stuff." No, you can't do that. Okay? Best way to do it: cardio, fast pace. Burn the calories out. They'll shed from your entire body. There's not one spot you can target. Some of this stuff is genetic. Okay, we're all built differently. It's just the way we are. Especially as you get older, things like that, it's harder to control the way you look. Creams, treatments, and massage don't work. Okay, hopefully that's not a shock to many people, but they sell these things online, on TV. If you rub this cream, your cellulite will go away. If you just go get this massage, they'll squeeze it out. It doesn't work like that. Okay, do your fast pace. Your cellulite will improve and it'll go away. Does exercising on an empty stomach burn more fat? Okay, this is a common question I get. Is it better to exercise when I first wake up before I eat breakfast? Because I'm burning calories, all those calories aren't in my body, things like that. The truth is that it's not the case. Okay. There are people that I have come across where they say, yeah, when I wake up in the morning and I exercise before I eat breakfast, I feel better, I sweat more, things like that. But the truth is, it doesn't matter. 300 calories out is 300 calories out, no matter if you do it on a full stomach or an empty stomach. Now, the only thing about that, though, so working out in the morning, think about it. If you get 8 hours of sleep a night, you probably didn't eat dinner right before you went to bed. It's probably 2 or 3 hours before you went to bed. So that's about 10 to 11 hours of fasting, at the point where you haven't taken in any food. When you wake up in the morning, your blood sugars are going to be low. Okay, so if you try to go out and exercise, your muscles aren't going to get that fuel that they need to give you a good workout. You're not going to burn calories at a good enough rate as if your fuel was pumping like it should have been. Okay, so you definitely don't want to exercise when your blood sugars are low. Your body's more efficient at burning fat in a fed state. If you're fasting, you're not getting any food, you're out exercising, your body's going to hold on to as many calories as it can. Okay, 2 things are going to happen out of that. 1, you're not going to burn them. 2, you're not going to have as good of a workout because that energy isn't there. Like I said earlier, 300 calories out, 300 calories out, no matter what, okay? And kind of like the main point of this is that if If you have an empty stomach, you're not going to burn as much fat as you would as if you were in a healthy state, an eating state. If your body sees carbs and glucose in your blood, and it's going to freely release those calories as opposed to them not being there.
Jacques, question?
Yes.
Does fed state mean that your belly is like full of food, like you're full?
No. Okay, so a fed state is going to be probably about between 45 minutes to an hour after you eat. Okay? That's the state that you want to be in. If your belly's full, that food hasn't digested and broken out enough to be in your blood. So you have to give it about 45 minutes to an hour so those blood sugars will jump up so you can use them for exercise. Okay, at the gym, they have different cardio equipment. They have elliptical, a treadmill, bike. You guys have probably seen some of those things. And you'll see a fat burning zone on there. It's probably all lit up in green and yellow. Like, yeah, fat burning zone. Is this better? No, it's not. Okay? I'm going to explain to you why. All right? There's a lot of tricks, and it's unnecessary, and it's really frustrating sometimes. But in a nutshell, there's 3 different zones of working out that you'll see in most of these machines. They might have some different names, but basically it's 3 different zones. You have your fat burning zone, you have your aerobic zone, and you have your high intensity zone. Okay? High intensity zone is at a sprint speed. That's if you're running from a dog or somebody's chasing you. You're trying to get out of there. That's your high intensity state. You can only hold that maybe for 2 minutes if you're in the best of shape. Okay? That's not an exercise point that you want to be in. If you're at that point, your target heart rate is going to be higher than what it should be. And if you need to review that, it's in your program manual. But you do not want to exercise in the high intensity zone. You'll last 2 to 3 minutes and you'll crash. That'll be it for you. All right? On the other extreme, it's a fat burning zone. Oh, one more thing. At the high intensity zone, you're burning glycogen and glucose. Okay? Glycogen is found in your muscles, and it's a readily available fuel source in your muscles. Glucose obviously is sugar, readily available, can be used quick. Okay? That high intensity zone, for those 2 minutes, you're burning glycogen and glucose. You're not burning much fat, is the point there. Okay? The other extreme, the fat burning zone, yes, you are burning a lot more fat. Okay? You're exercising a lot slower. The intensity is a lot slower than it is at the aerobic zone or at the high intensity zone. The reason why you're burning a lot of fat in proportion to everything else is because you're moving so slow, your body's not using those immediate sources of glucose and glycogen. Okay? So it can move slowly and kind of burn those fat stores. Now the problem with that is you're not burning as many calories. Does that make sense? You're burning a higher proportion of fat in comparison to glucose and glycogen, but you're not burning a lot of calories because you're moving so slow. Does that make sense? Kind of, sort of, a little bit? Okay, let me try to. Okay, so if I'm walking at a slow speed, okay, my body is not in an alarm state. It's not needing to burn those immediate fuels, which are the glucose and glycogen. Okay? Although, when I'm working out at this high intensity state, I'm burning more calories for that 2 minutes because I'm going fast, right? So I'm putting calories out, putting calories out, putting calories out when I'm moving fast. But I'm not burning the type of fuel that I want to, which is fat at the high intensity zone. Okay? Now, on the other extreme, at the fat burning zone, I'm moving real slow. Okay? Because I'm moving real slow, I'm not using that high intense glycogen and glucose that I need immediate fuel for. I am burning fat like this. I'm burning 1 calorie, 1.5 calories. Okay? That's the fat burning zone. Yes, I'm burning just fat doing that. But it's going to take me forever to burn 200 calories. Does that make sense now? So by moving slow, you're burning more fat, but you're not putting out the calories that you need to put out. And as you guys know, calories in, calories out. Now where we want you to go is right in the middle. Right here in the aerobic area. Okay? In this area, you're burning a mixture of fat and a mixture of glucose. You're burning a high to moderate level of calories. You can extend it for 20 minutes. Okay? Fat burning zone you can do for 3 days and not get tired. The high intensity, 2 minutes. Aerobic, 20 to 30 minutes. You're burning a healthy mixture of fat and glucose. You're putting out a lot of calories. Okay? So that's where you need to be whenever you're exercising on these machines at the gym. That makes sense? Real important concept. You can use it on the machines at the gym and kind of keep it in the back of your mind too when you're doing fast pace.